Welcome back, friends. Today we're looking at hats. I'm a very avid hat wearer. I usually wear a hat every single day. It helps cover my bad hair day on some days. I try to shave my head every day, but that doesn't always happen. And so a hat is a good way to cover that up, as well as prevent my head from getting sunburnt. For all you bald people out there, you know what I'm talking about. All right, let's get into it. Welcome back to Loadout Lounge. My name is Seth Nichols. We're looking at hats. I've got a couple different varieties. When it comes to hats, I'm kind of particular. As you know with me, I'm particular about a lot of different things. But when it comes to hats, I have to make sure that it's comfortable. And what I mean by that is some of the hats, you have a big patch on the front where the forehead is. And with me, I don't have any hair there to kind of protect or to give any type of comfort or anything. And so I have to make sure that the patches don't rub my skin raw or cause it to break out just from the patch sitting there. I also don't necessarily on the back of the hats, we'll look at this one. I don't like the trucker hats because if you're a bald person and you know, your head's gonna burn through the back part of that where the mesh is. So I really like hats that cover most of the skull, most of your head. That way there's not as much of a chance of you getting sunburnt, as well as it's a little bit more comfortable. So with the cool hats, they are lightweight. They're not a super heavy hat, and they don't press down on your forehead like some of the hats with patches or some of the thicker hats. This melon hat right here will stand up on its own because it's got a little bit more material here and it's a little bit more rigid than the cool hats or even the outdoor research hats. So if I was to take this off, I could wad it up, throw it in a backpack and not worry about messing it up. The only thing I would worry about is the bill getting creased or bent out of wrong shape or something like that, which has actually happened to my blue outdoor research hat. With the Cool brand, it's made out of nylon and spandex, so it's about 95% nylon and there's 5% spandex in it, so it's going to be a little bit more moldable. With the Cool hats on the back, instead of like the trucker style where it's got the buttons or even Velcro, it's got a little latch right there to where you can resize however you need. It's got a little nylon D-loop or something like that on the back of it, or you can pull and get it tighter, and then all you do to clamp it down where you want it is you press that down and it clamps it tight. It does have this little strap around the end of it that'll keep any of the excess kind of tight to the head. That way it's not just flapping around. And it's pretty easy to do on the back of your head without looking. You can undo that little latch and then press it tight and then move that little strap holder over and you're good to go. The other thing that I look for in hats is I have to make sure that they fit comfortably with me wearing glasses. I don't wear contacts. I've tried them, they don't work well with me, or I don't work well with them. So I've accepted the fact that I'm always gonna wear glasses. So for you out there that is even the smaller percent of the population that are bald and wear glasses, this is definitely gonna be a video maybe y'all check out. So with the glasses, I have to make sure that the hat doesn't sit on my glasses and press down into my nose, and that they are comfortable around the ear, not pressing it into my ear. So you have to be particular if you want to be comfortable when it comes to hats and what style, what you're wearing, and when you're wearing it, okay? So we have the Cool Renegade hat. We have the Outdoor Research Swift hat. And we have the Melon A-Game hat. With the Outdoor Research hats, they're a lot lighter. They have two separate pieces of material which are sewn together at the front and the back. This is the blue version of the same exact hat that I'm wearing on top of my head that is green. This is a really good hat for anything athletic. If you're playing a sport, if you're playing a game, if you're outside running around, if you're doing work outside, this will keep your head a little bit cooler than maybe the cool Renegades or a thicker hat. And it will still protect you from the sun. Now this does, I don't know if this will pick up on the camera very well, but it does have a thin meshy top fill, and it really helps with sweat wicking, sweat evaporation, and making sure that your sweat is not just sitting on your head somewhere. A lot of times hats your sweat will just pool here and it just sits on your forehead, and that's where acne can build up and it's just not comfortable over time. So the one thing I do like with these hats, and I'll show you with the one I'm wearing on my head, is the strap mechanism in the back. The one thing I like with the Outdoor Research Swift hats is their clasping mechanism on the back. So on the back of this hat, let's see if I can flip this around. So it has like a little bitty tab inside that you press together and it will come apart very easily. So if you're needing to take the hat off, if you need to adjust it, it's super simple to do that. And you just pull that back in. Now the excess on this, it doesn't have like an elastic strap or anything to keep this from flapping around, but inside the hat itself, in this seam, it has a pouch or a pocket where you can slip the excess in and slide it in. Now it is kind of difficult to do without it being on the back of your head, and sometimes even then it's a little bit, see I just did it, sometimes it's a little bit harder to do. But with this hat, with Outdoor Research Swift cap, it's very comfortable for outdoor use. If I'm paddleboarding or something like that, I want a lightweight hat that I'm not worried about getting wet, then this will be the type of hat I wear. Or if I've actually, the blue hats are predominantly, they're what I wear whenever I'm playing my soccer matches. I play soccer once a week whenever the season is in, and these help me make sure my head doesn't burn, because you're out in the sunlight. All you bald people out there, you know, you're gonna get burnt. So these are more like outdoor athletic-y, maybe hiking type stuff. The one thing I do like about these hats and the cool hat is just how compact you can get them, and just throw them in a backpack if you want to have an extra hat or something, or if you want to have them in a truck. They're super small. They don't take up a lot of space. So the Outdoor Research Swift cap. This is probably one of my newest purchases as far as hats, and it's one of my more favorite purchases. Not only is it camo, it's a little bit stiffer. It's not got the trucker style mesh in the back, but it still has perforations or holes in it that will help keep my head a little bit cooler. And the other thing is, in here there's cloth, and it keeps it very comfortable to my forehead. And then there's the pocket where you can stash some cash. And right now I have about 20 bucks in there, something like that. It's just in there just in case you ever need it. And with the hat, like all hats, it needs to make sure it doesn't press down on my glasses. It doesn't hurt my head on the forehead. It doesn't have any hot spots or anything like that. This is a hat that I would not wear to the gym, outside very often, unless I wouldn't wear it like if I know I'm going to be working. If I'm doing yard work, or if I'm doing something where it's going to cause me to start sweating a lot, I probably wouldn't wear this hat. This hat is just a casual, just relaxed. You're going out on a date, or you're going out to town or something like that. You're quick trips, not something that you're going to wear all day outside hiking. You don't want to get this one all messed up. This is what I call my pretty hat. These other hats, they're functional. They are for me being outdoors doing something. I never thought I'd be the type of person to wear a hat until I started shaving my head, and I realized I got to make sure I take care of my head, make sure it doesn't burn. So with me, I like what I like, and there's certain brands out there that just do a really good job about making an awesome product. Cool, Outdoor Research, they make great products for a decent price. Melon is an expensive hat. Y'all go look up their price and you know that's an expensive hat. 60, 70 bucks for a hat is quite expensive. So if it wasn't for the price, Melon, this hat right here would probably be my favorite. As it is, more than likely I'm going to go with the Outdoor Research or the Cool Renegade hats, just because they're not as costly and they are just as comfortable. For the longest time, I've worn the Outdoor Research hats just because they're cooler and they're a little bit more comfortable, especially for those without hair on their head. It's just all about comfortability, and Outdoor Research is probably one of the most comfortable hats I've worn, just because it's a thinner material, it's lightweight, and it doesn't create any hot spots or any places where there's pressure on your head. I will put the links in the description down below for where you can find these hats. You can probably find them all on Amazon, but I'm going to try and find the best price for y'all and just post it in the description below. So if you're interested in any of these hats, just look at the description. Make sure you like and subscribe. And if you have better hats or hats that you think are better, send them my way. Let me know what you think, because I've got 3 pairs of the Outdoor Research. I've got 2 pairs of the Cool Renegade. So when it comes to something I like, I end up getting multiples of, and that speaks volumes for what I think about the products. So if you got a better product or one that you think I might like, send them my way. Post in the comments below. Let me know. So without further ado, we'll catch y'all on the next one.